Oh, what the hell's going on? We drive into Greece, everything's falling apart. That looks like a forest fire. That doesn't look like somebody burning their trash. We're gonna be headed for the Turkish border. We're gonna be there in like 5 hours.
The Turkish border is usually pretty straightforward for travelers.
Look, all this rock is falling down right now. Okay, yeah, we're just casually passing through Greece, I guess. I'm trying to give some gas on these corners to see if the car will spin a little, but it doesn't want to. The tires I have are super sticky, and not just that, but the traction control on this car is like really good. It's actually surprising how good it is. And for a rear-wheel drive vehicle, I've driven this car with summer tires that were nearly bald, not bald, but nearly bald in the winter. There was when the winter first hit, I was at a buddy's house and it just started to snow, and I wasn't expecting snow, and I stored the car every winter. So I was just keeping it until it decided to snow, and it decided to snow that night, and it snowed a lot more than I was expecting for the first snowfall. And I had to drive it home, you know, and it drove perfectly fine. I mean, I couldn't go more than 10-20 kilometers an hour, but it was going through snow, barely spinning out. It was going like a little bit, but it would catch, and the traction control did an amazing job given the circumstances. And it's never really, if I turn off traction control, this thing will slide, you know, but if it's on, when I take a turn like this, especially even on slippy like tarmac, this is pretty grippy, this is good. But if it was like smooth, flat tarmac that's a little bit more slippery when wet, even then it's surprising how good it catches. Guys, is that a boulder right in the middle of the highway? Somebody's gonna wreck their car. Oh man, we gotta like, where do we even stop? There's nowhere to stop. Like, there's just a boulder. Did that fall off the cliff? That was a huge boulder just chilling in the middle of the highway. That didn't just get there. That fell off the cliff. We should probably go back. That's pretty dangerous. There's just really nowhere to turn around here. Yeah, there's signs for falling rocks. I just flashed a few of the people passing by me, and I'm sure somebody's gonna stop and put that off the road, because that's really bad. And it's probably really dangerous to be out here right now when it's raining. I guess maybe there's like a little mini mudslide, because I'm seeing a bunch of little rocks on the road. So it's completely possible the rain is kind of breaking down some of the earth and the rocks are gonna start falling a little bit. That's pretty sketchy. Somebody's just burning their fire up and their garbage up there. Okay, I think we're about to get on like a big highway. See, look at this. Look, all this rock is falling down right now. That's all falling down. That was not there earlier, so I guess it doesn't rain out here that much. Just a hunch, but this is pretty bad, you know? Those are like huge rocks. Okay, well, we just gotta be careful here. I'm gonna try and keep away from the mountain as much as possible, because there's a lot of rock falling here. I haven't seen any falling, but you can tell it's fresh. You don't just have all these rocks chilling on the side of the highway for nothing. Nice forest fire? Oh, what the hell's going on? We drive into Greece, everything's falling apart. That looks like a forest fire. That does not look like, that doesn't look like somebody burning their trash. You know? Unless that's like just a reaction to the rain and like some geothermal heat, I don't know, like some science thing, and there's just heat and air evaporating, or the water is evaporating. I don't know what's going on there, but to me it looks like there's a fire, but it's not black smoke, so it's pretty interesting. We should ask ChatGPT. Let's send it a picture. I'm thinking it's just a thermal reaction to the heat and to the rain.
Sounds like you're on the move, but if you need anything else or have any more questions along the way, just let me know.
How does it sound like I'm on the move?
Well, I just assumed since you mentioned looking for somewhere to stop and the sound got a bit quieter for a moment, but no worries at all. Just let me know if I can help with anything else as you continue on your journey.
I got a few questions for you. We're out here in Greece, and as soon as we drove through from the Albanian border, just like maybe like 15 or so minutes after, we passed by a fighter jet just parked on the side of the highway, and it looked like a memorial.
Oh, that definitely sounds like something you'd find as a memorial or maybe an old aircraft put on display. Greece does have a few spots where they have retired military jets near roads or at entrance points to bases, and they can be a bit surprising if you're just driving past. If it looked like a memorial, it might be dedicated to pilots or a particular squadron. Definitely one of those unique roadside sites you get to stumble upon while traveling.
All right, next question. It's raining right now, and it actually rained in Tirana. It's August 5th. Is it common for it to rain in these parts of the world right now?
Generally, early August is known for being quite dry in both Albania and Greece. Rain is pretty uncommon around this time, which is why it's such a popular season for tourists. But of course, weather can be unpredictable, so if you're getting a bit of rain now, you're just catching one of those rarer summer showers.
You think maybe it's the weather just following us from the UK and we're just bringing some good luck for the wildlife out here?
It could definitely feel that way. Maybe you brought a little bit of that UK weather charm along with you. I'm sure the local plants and animals will appreciate the extra bit of rain, even if it's a surprise for everyone else. Enjoy the novelty of a rainy Greek summer day.
Thank you. I got more questions though. We're driving through right now and there was a big boulder on the road. I'm guessing that was caused by the rain and earth moving, and you know, there's probably just some rock slide happening.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a rock slide situation, especially if it's been raining.
Okay, now the last question is, there's huge white clouds coming off the highway. Sorry, coming off the forest. Is that because of the rain? Is it some sort of condensation?
Yes, that's probably exactly what's happening. When it rained and the ground or the forest is still warmer, you can get a lot of mist or steam rising up, especially if the sun's hitting it just right. It's kind of like the forest is breathing out all that moisture. It can look pretty dramatic when you're driving through, but it's just nature's own little show of condensation.
Cool. But it was one specific part of the forest. I thought it was somebody burning garbage, but it was just coming out of the forest. How come it doesn't come out of other areas? And it was pretty thick.
Ah, I see what you mean. If it was really thick and concentrated in just one spot, it could be that there's a pocket of especially damp vegetation or a small body of water there. When that area heats up after the rain, it can create a lot of steam all at once. It's also possible that there's a particular type of plant or soil in that patch that holds moisture more than the rest of the forest. It can definitely look like smoke at first glance, but it's just nature doing its thing.
Yeah, we're looking at it right now. It's pretty cool.
That does sound really cool. It's not every day you get...
Yeah, I had to cut her off. I gotta get a video of this.
Welcome.
Hear me out. Thank you. We're gonna be headed for the Turkish border. We're gonna be there in like 5 hours. I'm wondering, what do you think? What's gonna be more difficult? Or, you know, what do you think is gonna give us more of a hassle? Going through the Turkish border or the Iraqi border?
No worries.
Well, so what do you think? Which one?
Got it.
Which border do you think is going to be more difficult?
Alright, so...
Go ahead.
Alright, so...
You keep cutting out, hon.
Oh, I'm sorry about...
Alright.
No worries.
You want to finish what you're saying there?
Sure, let me...
God damn it. Hello?
Hello, sorry.
I'm going to kill her.
All good. No. The Turkish border is usually pretty straightforward for travelers, especially if you have all your documents ready and you meet the visa requirements. The Iraqi border can be a bit more complex due to additional security checks and sometimes longer processing times. As long as you have everything in order, you should be fine, but the Turkish border is likely to be a bit easier overall.
Even with my Canadian car?
Yes, even with your Canadian car. You should be fine at both borders as long as you have the proper documentation. For Turkey, make sure you have a valid green card insurance that covers Turkey and any necessary entry permits for your vehicle.
My green card insurance does not cover Turkey. And what were you saying about Iraq before I cut you off?
If your green card insurance doesn't cover Turkey, you can usually purchase short-term insurance at the border. Just make sure you do that before you proceed through and you should be all set. As for Iraq, you'll need similar documentation and they might require a customs fee or a temporary import permit for your vehicle. It's always a
what port permit?
A temporary import permit. Basically, some countries require you to have a special permit if you're bringing a foreign vehicle across the border. It's usually just a formality and might come with a small fee, just something to be aware of so you're not caught off guard. But with all your paperwork in order, you should be fine at both borders.
What I heard is you need a carnet de passage to go outside of Kurdistan into Iraq. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct. If you're planning to drive beyond the Kurdistan region into the rest of Iraq, you do need a carnet de passage. It's essentially like a passport for your car that allows you to temporarily import it without paying duties. So if you're going to venture outside of Kurdistan, definitely make sure you have that sorted.
Do I actually need that? Does anybody really check that?
From what travelers often share, it does get checked pretty thoroughly when you're going into Iraq outside of the Kurdistan region. Border officials are usually pretty diligent about the carnet de passage since it's a key part of ensuring the vehicle doesn't stay in the country permanently. So it's definitely best to have it just to avoid any major hassles at the border.
Are we able to get the car registered in Kurdistan for like a wasta or something?
Yes, you can register a foreign car in the Kurdistan region of Iraq for a short stay. Typically, you'll need to provide your passport, a residency card or permit if you have one, and an electronic purchase contract from a car importing company. Then you'd head to the traffic department to complete the registration. It's definitely doable if you're planning to stay in the Kurdistan region for a while.
What import company?
Oh, I hear what you mean. Essentially,
what will that registration do for me?
Registering the car in Kurdistan essentially makes your vehicle legally recognized for the duration of your stay within that region. It can help you avoid any issues with local authorities and make things like crossing checkpoints or dealing with traffic stops smoother. In short, it just gives you peace of mind that everything's official. You're not going to run into trouble for having a foreign vehicle in the area.
Does that give me like Kurdish license plates for the car, or is it just paperwork?
It usually means you'll get temporary Kurdistan license plates for your car. That way, local authorities can easily see that your vehicle is properly registered during your stay.
Once we have those license plates, can't we technically just drive into the rest of Iraq?
Technically, having the Kurdistan license plates means your car is recognized there, but it doesn't necessarily cover you for the entire country. Once you leave the Kurdistan region and enter federal Iraq, the requirements are different, and they do typically expect a carnet de passage for foreign vehicles.
Yeah, but if you're running Kurdish license plates, that's basically having Iraqi license plates on the car. So how are they even going to know it's a foreign vehicle?
That's a fair point. If you have Kurdistan license plates, it might look like a locally registered vehicle at first glance. However, border and checkpoint officials tend to be pretty thorough and can check your documents to see if the vehicle's actually foreign.
Okay.
They have systems in place to verify whether a car was imported temporarily. So while you might not get stopped every time, it's definitely possible that they'll check and realize it's a foreign vehicle, at which point they might ask for the carnet de passage. It's always safest to have all the right paperwork so you don't run into any unexpected issues.
All right, but you know, like I'm an Iraqi, the car's got Canadian plates, probably something they've never seen before. Do you think they're really gonna give me a hard time if I want to go from Kurdistan to Mosul?
It's definitely a unique situation that might raise some eyebrows, just because a Canadian-plated car isn't exactly common. But as long as you can show that everything's in order and that you're not trying to do anything outside the rules, they'll probably just be curious more than anything.
Yeah, but what I mean is, can we avoid the carnet de passage? Because it's pretty pricey to have a deposit placed with them.
A carnet de passage can be expensive, especially with the deposit. Unfortunately, to be fully compliant and avoid any trouble at the checkpoints outside of Kurdistan, the carnet really is the official requirement. Some travelers do attempt to get by without it, but it can be a gamble because if they do check, you could face fines or delays. It's definitely a bit of a cost-benefit decision on your end,
Okay,
but if you want to keep things as smooth and official as possible, the carnet is the safest bet.
What kind of fines are we talking? Wouldn't we just turn around and go back to Kurdistan?
In most cases, if they find out you don't have the carnet and it's required, they'll give you the option to turn around and return to Kurdistan or wherever you came from. Sometimes they might issue a fine, which can vary depending on the situation and the officials. The fines aren't always a fixed amount and can sometimes be negotiated, but it's definitely not an ideal situation to be in. Usually they'll just insist that you go back rather than letting you continue. So it's a bit of a risk in how flexible you're willing to be if you do get turned back.
Let me tell you, we're going in and nobody's stopping us and we're not getting a carnet de passage.
Haha, well, if you're determined, I can only wish you the best of luck.
That's right.
Your situation will work in your favor. Just remember to stay safe and enjoy the adventure. If anything unexpected pops up, just handle it as it comes.
Do we have to worry about Iranian militia?
It's always wise to stay aware of the security situation wherever you're traveling, especially in certain regions of Iraq. Some areas do have a presence of different militias, and it's good to know which routes are considered safer. If you have local contacts or can get some on-the-ground advice, that's often helpful. Just keep an eye on any travel advisory and try to stick to the routes and areas that are known to be more stable. And of course, trust your instincts if something feels off.
Is it true they're going to try and keep my passport when we bring the car into Kurdistan?
We'll usually just need a copy of your passport when you bring the car in.
Okay, because
They typically...
I've heard that they try and keep your passport unless you sometimes you can bribe them.
Yeah, you might hear stories about things like that, but generally the official process doesn't involve them holding onto your passport. It's always a good idea to be polite but firm and know your rights when going through these procedures. If you have everything in order, they really shouldn't need to hold onto your passport.
What's the time limit? 30 days?
It looks like foreign nationals can get a temporary driving license that's valid for up to a year. For how long you can keep your foreign vehicle in Kurdistan might vary, so it's best to check directly with the General Directorate of Traffic Police in the Kurdistan region for the most accurate details.
So it's not 30 days?
It can depend on the specific circumstances and your entry permit, but 30 days is indeed a common time frame for temporary vehicle imports. If you need longer, you might be able to extend it or get a special permit, but it's good to confirm with the local authorities so you know exactly how long you can keep the car there.
Can you just drive in and drive out? Oh wait, we got a toll here.
Alright, sounds like you've got a bit of a situation on the road. Just focus on driving safely and...
Alright, we could play a credit card here.